that makes a lot of sense to me. But man, I think I've been beaten over the head by this lesson, mainly in my professional career, and then I've had to like overlay it onto my personal life. And that is that people need to feel understood first. Like I have been so guilty so much of my life, and it still is a thing that happens that I have to check myself on, of too quickly jumping to solutions and not spending enough time like really understanding the other person's position. Like, why do you feel the way you feel? From your perspective, why is it so justified for
Yeah.
you to feel the way you feel? And not
Yeah.
listening to them so that I can combat it, but listening to them to really truly understand it.
Hmm.
And that's a big difference. Like, especially if we're in opposition to that person, which I think,
Yeah.
like a husband and wife can be oppositional to each other. Like, I just want you to be in a better mood. Um, I've really learned people have to be understood first, and they can tell. You can tell if someone genuinely understands you or if they're just pacifying you. So like I've really learned you have to like work to generally understand that other person and make them feel understood, like for real, and so then they feel like you're on their team and not against them, and only then will they get up and follow you.
All right. Try to follow me on this question then.
All right.
How can I try to understand someone that I cannot understand? That seems like a dumb question.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One exercise I like for that is to basically say, "Hey, tell me everything. Tell me everything that's frustrating you. Tell me everything that sucks about your life. Tell me everything that is weighing on you about work, about home, about relationships. Tell me about all of those things, and I'm not going to say a single thing back to you. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to give you any advice. I might ask some clarifying questions to better understand, but I'm not going to be trying to fix at all. I just want you to lay it out for me, because then that would give the other person the opportunity to really lay it all out, and then you might understand better. If we're
Action.
listening to respond and listening to combat and listening to convince, the other person can tell you're not really hearing
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
They need to feel heard. So here's another thing. This goes piggybacks off what I was saying a little bit ago about having to understand people. When I was working at Four Oaks, which is a residential treatment facility for children in Cedar Rapids, I thought all these kids need is like a compassionate, kind, understanding, loving, fun adult, and like these kids will feel safe and like they'll be very well behaved. Dude, I got walked all over. My unit was
Yeah.
the worst unit. I was like the
Yeah.
nicest staff, the most compassionate, the most loving, and I just got walked all over. Um, what I learned in that, one of the things that I learned in that experience was, they like I would just give them a solution. So if they're like, "Oh, I'm mad about this, or this person hit me, or this person pushed me, or whatever," and I'm like, "Just stay away from them." Well, then that never solved the problem. Then they just escalate, and and then I'm like, "Oh, just do it like this." And then they escalate. So what happens is, if you don't take the time to like really understand where a person's coming from and what they're really thinking and feeling, they're not going to listen to your solution. What they're going to do is they're going to escalate their attitude or behaviors. They're going to say, "No, I really am this serious." And then you're like, "No, no, just do the solution." They're going to escalate again. "No, I am this serious." So they're going to keep escalating their message until
Mm.
you take the time to stop and listen.
Yeah.
And that's a really shitty cycle if you never stop and listen, because they're just going to keep escalating and you're going to keep combating all of that. Like, the solution's so simple, just do the solution. And they're going to be like, "I don't want to hear your solution because you don't really care about my problem."
Hmm.
A solution feels like a blow off
Yeah.
when the person hasn't taken the time to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Yeah.
solution
It's
feels invalidating. A solution feels like, "Oh, just do it." Like, dude, if I feel really, really passionately about something and a person's just like, "Oh, just do this," like that feels really invalidating. And it
yeah.
feels like a fuck you. And then
Yeah.
the response is like, "Well, fine, fuck you back then."